Opportunity to introduce Sir to all of us. Dr. Inamdar, he is a management graduate and doctorate from University of Pune, and Sir has got experience with lots of universities and academic institutions. To name the few, he has worked as a director with ABS Garwari, IMCC institution as director. After that, he has worked and contributed to the field of academics, being a director at Singapore Institutions, Lodaba. Sir was clean academics with symbiosis. Now, in the experience side, he has guided a lot of PhD students, almost 9 to 10 students of PhD in the University of Pune. Sir is a writer, over 30 years writing columns for academics and with a lot of contemporary issues. Now, Sir is contributed to the field of academics, being a board of studies member, being an academic council member, and as I have spelled research, his core area. He was a member of the Research and Recognition Committee at University of Pune. Now, the bothering issue for all the institutions today, as we know, is the accreditation. Sir, being a very senior person, being a great contributor to the field of academics, he is there with us today to guide us on the MBA, that is National Board of Accreditation processes for all of us at MITCOM. Sir, I would like to welcome you at MITCOM. Now I request Director Sir, Dr. Pradeep Sir, to please felicitate Dr. Vikas Inamdar sir. I would like to request Dr. Vikas Inamdar sir to please start the session and guide us on the accreditation process. Sir.
Today's topic for discussion is not National Board of Accreditation. Today's topic for discussion is National Education Policy 2020, NEP-2020, and paradigm shift in the way the standalone institutions like MITCOM Institute of Management will operate in future. This is the topic.
Yes,
correct. So I am not going to talk on MBA.
Yes, sir.
So you will wonder why this topic has been chosen. After a short stint of 4 months in the United States of America, I came back to India, and I thought of creating my own YouTube video on this topic in Shikshan Samman. So very first YouTube video I created on this topic, that is NEP 2020 and its impact on the standalone institutions. There is a paradigm shift the way the institutions will operate in future. So how many of you have gone through the NEP document? Can you raise your hands? Very few. 2 or 3. So each and every faculty member and one from the non-teaching staff, they should go through this document. It is not a very lengthy document. It is hardly 63 pages, and you can go through NEP 2020 online. Now, why there is a paradigm shift the way the standalone institutions will operate in future? Now 2 years have already passed. So I would like to start with my talk in 4 phases. First, I am going to give you the introduction about NEP 2020, how the previous policies were announced from time to time. So that means the preamble. Then we will come to the salient features of NEP 2020. And at the third phase, we will discuss about its impact on standalone institutions or single stream institutions like MITCOM Institute of Management. And lastly, as I discussed with your director, Dr. Pradeep Bardekar, what is the way out? So what could be the action plan in the near future? So I would like to suggest some course correction for MITCOM Institute of Management in the near future. So that way we are going to discuss NEP 2020, and everyone should go through this document. I urge each one of you to go through this document. It is published by our union government, Ministry of Education. Now, it is said that roots are bitter but fruit is sweet by Aristotle as far as education is concerned. Roots are bitter but the fruit is sweet. So, let us talk about NEP-2020 and paradigm shifting type of institutions. So, I would like to quote Ajit Premji, who gave a convocation address at NIT Trichy, and he talked about NEP 2020 and his remarks are as under. NEP 2020 has a particular bold vision for transforming undergraduate education and postgraduate education to have a multidisciplinary and liberal character. I think that such liberal education is essential for our country. It is this kind of education which truly develops good society and good human beings. In a real sense, such a good liberal education will develop a vibrant society based on our constitutional values. In fact, that is what NEP 2020 commits to be doing. So, founder, chairman of Wipro Limited, which is a $10 billion enterprise, and he is also the founder chancellor of Ajit Premji University. So he is very positive about the changes and the paradigm shift that NEP 2020 will have in the near future. Now, before going into the saline characteristics or saline features of NEP 2020 and why standalone institutions like Midcon Institute of Management or single stream institution, Union government wants to convert it into multidisciplinary institutions having multiple faculties. Why the need has been felt? Now, if you look at real life problems, you, me, everybody, including your director, problem comes as a whole. Problem does not come in compartments. So you should have a wholesome view while solving that problem, because it does not come in compartments, it does not come in pieces. And that is how this multidisciplinary education is required. And what has happened since independence, we have created, say, IITs, IIMs, mainly focusing on engineering and management, centers of excellence, islands of excellence. Prior to that, in the British rule, we had created Calcutta University, Madras University, Bombay University, 150 years back. They were multidisciplinary in nature. But very recently you must have observed that in our very own Pune city, COEP Technological University has been constituted, single stream institution, focusing on engineering. At Lonade in Konkan, there is Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, focusing on engineering education. Then at Nashik, there is Maharashtra University of Health Sciences, focusing on medical education. So, what we are doing is, we are cutting the branches and we are making bonsai universities. And what is a bonsai tree? For our pleasure, we are curtailing its growth and we are keeping that bonsai tree in our balcony. But we have permanently curtailed its growth. So it should not happen with a university. And we have created 5 types of universities in India. IITs, IIM, by way of Parliament Act, they have been created. Then central universities like JNU, Hyderabad Central University, state universities like Pune University, Mumbai University, Nagpur University. Then we have created privately funded universities like Symbiosis Skills and Professional University, privately funded university. And we have also created deemed to be universities like Bharati Vidyapith, deemed to be university, or SIU, Symbiosis International University, which is a deemed to be university. So in NEP 2020, all these terminologies will be scrapped and only university terminology will be used. No deemed to be university and no privately funded university, no publicly funded university, no state university, no central university. Only university terminology will be used. That is what it contemplates what is going to happen in near future. So let us look at the previous policies. When Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister of India, in 1968 he created Kothari Commission. Then when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India, National Policy on Education was constituted, and in between that in 1986 policy got extended in 1992, which was modified. And in 2005, when Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, there was National Knowledge Commission headed by Dr. Sam Pitroda, scientist. But that was a think tank. That was a think tank. And then in 2009, there was a Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act. So this is the broad perspective of different educational policies. The previous policies which focused on access, equity, focus was there. Now we are talking about principles of NEP 2020 to develop unique capabilities of each student, literacy, numeracy up to grade 3, flexibility, no hard separations, no silos, no compartments, multidisciplinary and holistic education, unity and integrity of knowledge, conceptual clarity. Many times we don't have conceptual clarity, and that is how the students they get confused. There is no conceptual clarity. Creativity and critical thinking, ethics and values, and multilingualism. I am told that this Virtual Institute of Management is having foreign language courses also, like German language. It's a good thing. Then there has to be the formative assessment instead of summative assessment. Formative assessment is regular assessment and summative assessment is term end assessment. Then life skills to be taught, use of technology. For example, National Educational Technology Forum has been constituted as an autonomous body under Ministry of Education, Government of India, and Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe, current chairman of AICT, will retire by the end of this month, and he will join that forum as the chairman, because technology will be introduced into education sector. Then equity and inclusion, synergy from school to college, faculty training and upgradation, light but tight regulation. Light but tight. What is the meaning of that? Light but tight. That they will give you full autonomy, but if they make the surprise inspection and if you are caught, then chances are that you will be penalized. Institution might face closure also. So light but tight. Then outstanding research, continuous review, rooted in Indian ethos and culture. Then education is a public service, and then there is public education system and private education system, and community participation and engagement. So what is the vision of this policy? To create knowledge society. Why? Because knowledge workers, they are the wealth creators. They are the wealth creators. So we have to create knowledge society. Then we have to have national pride and global well-being. That is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Now, what are the quality universities and colleges? What is the new and forward-looking vision of this policy? Moving towards a higher education system of large multidisciplinary universities and colleges. They call it MERU. Multidisciplinary Educational and Research Universities. It should be minimum one such MERU per district. Then moving towards multidisciplinary undergraduate education also. So there is a smooth movement from undergraduate education to postgraduate education. Then autonomy, graded autonomy. You will get graded autonomy based on the graded accreditation. revamping of the curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, student support, merit-based appointments and promotions. This is very important for the faculty members. Today, it is something like sab bode 12 karke. Everybody is at par. So there is no recognition of talent and dedication. So merit will be rewarded. Then National Research Foundation, that will be at par with NSF of USA, which is in Washington DC, National Science Foundation. And I have got the first hand information about NSF because when my son studied in University at Buffalo for his MS in Computer Science and Engineering, they got a 4 lakh project funded by NSF, $1.3 million funding. One senior faculty from MIT Boston and 3 faculty members from SUNY Buffalo, they were involved into that 4 lakh project. And in the second year, out of 400 students, only 2 students were selected. One was my son and another was from Korea. He came from industry. He had 7 years industrial experience. So on mobile operating system, at night they used to do research in the lab. In the daytime they had to attend the classes. And 5,000 custom designed smartphones were donated by Google, Samsung and Sprint Telecom. And a private network was established across South Campus, 250 acres, Medical College, Architectural College. Then 1250 acres, North Campus, Engineering College, Technology Center, and 50 acres downtown campus. That was liberal arts. So these 5,000 smartphones were distributed amongst teaching faculty, non-teaching staff and students. And a private network was established. The aim and objective was to create better smartphones, powerful smartphones, and to create mobile apps. So that was funded by NSF, and we are also moving on the same lines. Then governance of HEIs by qualified and independent boards having academic and administrative autonomy. So institutional restructuring and consolidation will be done to end the fragmentation, and their transformation will be made into multidisciplinary educational universities, colleges and HEI clusters, each with 3,000 enrollment. Now this 3,000 enrollment figure is rather alarming for Midcore Institute of Management, because 3,000 is a sizable number. Now students can study across different disciplines and take technical as well as creative subjects. So we had universities like Takshashila and Nalanda in the past, and we had the knowledgeable people. You must have heard about Yuan Sun, who came in 7th century to India. He was a Chinese Buddhist monk, philosopher. And at that time, crossing the national borders was considered as a crime. So the Chinese emperors asked his army to capture him and bring him back. But somehow he escaped and reached India. He got red carpet treatment at Takshashila University and Nalanda University, Vikramshila University. He stayed for almost 16 years in India, learned Sanskrit. And while he went back, because those universities were multidisciplinary universities having multiple faculties, and nearly 55,000 students used to study at that time, including international students. So when he went back, Chinese emperor, because he went back with 65,000 texts of Sanskrit texts on horsebacks with all the difficulties, and Chinese emperor was highly impressed, and he said that I will make you education minister of China. He said, I am not interested. Give me 100 bright students, I will teach them Sanskrit, and I will convert all these Sanskrit texts into Mandarin texts. And he did that during his lifetime, because it was his lifetime mission. And even if you go to China China today there is Yuan Museum. You will find all those 65,000 original Sanskrit texts stored neatly and their translation made by Yuan and his students. That was the legacy of Yuan, and that is the thirst for knowledge, which every one of us should imbibe, that how people are devoted. So, at undergraduate level, there will be teaching universities, at postgraduate level, there will be research universities, and there will be autonomous degree granting colleges with graded accreditation and graded autonomy. So, there will be autonomous degree granting colleges. These three types of institutions they would like to make. And by 2030, multidisciplinary education and research universities MERUs will be constituted, and 2040 increase in student strength up to the level of 3,000 in one HAI cluster will be placed. So one HAI per district. Today GER is 26.3, 2018 figure, and Union government wants to make it 50% by 2035 with existing plus new institutions, and option to run ODL programs and online programs. On 2nd of September 2022, there is a UGC notification that online and the ODL mode of undergraduate degrees and postgraduate degrees, they will be treated at par with undergraduate degrees and postgraduate degrees of regular education. Now, Midcon is offering regular education. So, whatever diploma AICTE approved you are awarding, that will be treated at par, and online and ODL mode of education will be recognized by UGC notification. Then, affiliated colleges will be reduced. Now, if you consider Pune University, Pune University has got nearly 800 affiliated colleges in Pune, Nagar and Nashik district, and 200 recognized institutions. So 1,000 number. Dr. Lonak Meghrani might be knowing. 1,000 affiliated institutions is a huge number. And 3 districts and 1 million students. Heavy load on administration, heavy load on academics. So when volume increases, quality goes down. And NIRF rankings, Pune University is getting the beating. But there is heavy amount of bureaucracy, 60% faculty shortage, not sanctioned by the state government, and red tapeism, bureaucracy, license and permit raj. That is hampering the growth of higher education as far as state universities are concerned. Then, education should be holistic. We have heard about Banabhatta's Kadambari, 64 Kala, 64 Kalas. And they will include, apart from STEM, that is science, technology, engineering and maths, language, literature, music, philosophy, Indology, arts, dance, theatre, sociology, economics and so on. IITs will be also made multidisciplinary with inputs from arts and humanities, because it has been observed that if you give inputs from other branches as per the choice of the student, the result is better. That is proven. Then community engagement and community service institution, educational institution should have society connect. Then environmental education, value-based education and global citizenship education, GCED. Previously only IIT graduates or IIM graduates used to get foreign placements in sterling pounds and US dollar. But from Pune University, one of my friends, 2 sons, elder one is cyber security expert, MSc computer science or MCS from Pune University. He has got placement in Amsterdam, Netherlands, in a multinational company as a cyber security expert, and he is also on the panel of experts in the local police department in Amsterdam, and he is providing his technical know-how to the police department. But police department wants cyber security experts. And second sir, he is also MSc Computer Science, MCS. He is posted in Cisco, London. So foreign placements are happening. Even Midcon Institute of Management students can aspire for foreign placements, and some of them might have gone abroad also. So GCED is required, then industry internship, research internship. You do 1 year certificate, you get regular certificate from the university. 2 years you get diploma, 3 years you get degree, 4 years you get multidisciplinary research degree. So entry and exit options are there. But again the question comes, who will take the ownership of the student? Because if he is completing say PGDM first year in Midcon Institute of Management, and second year if he goes to Wellington for the same program, then he will complete that program, and there is ABC, academic grant of credit. Digitally it will be recorded how many credits he has earned in the first year. So he did not have to repeat first year from Midcon Institute of Management into Wellington Institute of Management. All those credits will be transferred, and in the second year he will complete that second year from Wellington. He will be awarded PGDM approved by AIS. But who will take the ownership of the student? Because there will be multiple entries and multiple exits in case of undergraduate courses. Now, 2 years masters, first year common, second year focused on research, eligibility 3 years degree. 1 year's master, eligibility 4 years degree, that is multidisciplinary degree with research, and integrated 5 years masters. For PhD masters or 4 years bachelor's multidisciplinary degree with research is required. MPhil will be scrapped out, phased out. IITs and IIMs will be converted into merits. And if you look at PGDM institutions growth, first it started with IIM Calcutta in 1960s. Then they did not prefer university stream of education. IIMs did not prefer university stream of education. They wanted flexibility, they wanted autonomy, and they wanted speed of decision making. And that is how PGDM started. And later on it got the proliferation. So if you look at USA, Germany, Netherlands, UK, China, Singapore, these are the countries offering good quality education. And in Singapore, they are talking about vertical universities. Because land is very expensive and it is not available. There is a scarcity of land. So there, even in India also there is a talk going on about vertical universities. So management education is still a part of technical education as prescribed by AICTE. Even in NEP-2020 it is like that. And NEP-2020 is having some kind of American model of education, that is land grant institutions and private institutions. In America, if you consider the state of California, there are 4 types of universities. Private universities like Stanford University, Caltech, they are very expensive but they are of highest quality. Then there is a UC system, UCLA, UC Santa Cruz, UC San Diego, University of California, UC system. They are research focused. They are next to top ranking private universities, so UC system. And then there are state universities like San Diego State University or San Jose State University. So these, and then there are community colleges like affiliated colleges, which are mainly beneficial for the students in the rural area. So 4 types of institutions are there in USA, and this kind of National Research Foundation, I talked about it, American National Science Foundation, situated in Washington DC, that is the funding for research. So this kind of reorganization is prescribed by NEP-2020, but it is very troublesome. I would say it is very troublesome. Because number of engineering colleges, number of management institutes have got closed. in India because there are no students. So there appears to be centralized approach without the weaker, and still there is no clarity on ITIs and polytechnics. Standalone PGDM institutions will be merged with the multi-university MERUs as well as with the clusters. And they are talking about calling 100 top-ranking foreign universities. So there is a Washington Accord agreement which has been signed, and in Washington Accord agreement, Tier 1 institutions are considered presently like IISc, IITs and IIMs for equivalence of degrees. That is, BTech from IIT will be equivalent to BS program in say UC Berkeley. So equivalence of degrees. Then later on, when this equivalence of degrees for Tier 1 institutions is completed, they will take up Tier 2 institutions. So Midcon Institute of Management should at least stand in Tier 2 and not Tier 3. That is my recommendation. So in order to even go for Tier 2, you will have to make a lot of efforts. It's not that easy. Tier 1 is all IITs, IIMs and IISc. Tier 2, at least you have to have to get the benefit, because your say PGDM should be BITM 240 and BIMM 360. Regular plus marketing plus HRM plus finance and IBM. So all put together 10-20. What they have done is, they have first taken MBA accreditation to secure the credentials and the quality of education. So first step Midcon Institute of Management should take is to get the accreditation, and director of the IQAC and your management and dean academics, all deputy directors and all faculty members, including the non-teaching staff registrar, should get involved into this exercise of getting MBA accreditation. What is the difference between NAC accreditation and MBA accreditation? NAC is macro view of the entire institution, and MBA is micro view, it is program specific view. So it's more stringent as far as norms are concerned. On 1000 point scale, you have to score 750. So within next 2 years time, Midcon Institute of Management should get MBA accreditation anyhow. All pro forma is available online, and that is my recommendation, prescription to get MBA accreditation. Then at the second phase, you should go for AIU equivalence. What is AIU? Association of Indian Universities. So what Balaji did was to get the MBA accreditation first, and that is the prerequisite for getting AIU equivalence. Then your PGDM will be treated at par with MBA. So they got it. And the advantage was that when Balaji University was constituted, all those PGDM programs being equivalent to MBA by statute of AIU, they immediately got MBA, regular MBA under Balaji University with 10-20. So this should be the short-term strategy of Midcon Institute of Management to get the accreditation from MBA within next 2 years. After getting accreditation, which is a prerequisite for getting AIU equivalence, get AIU equivalence, and then after getting AIU equivalence, you can apply even to Pune University for getting research institution status, because PGDM is equivalent to MBA. So you will get as a standalone research institution status, and you can have minimum 2 faculty members as recognized PhD guides and apply for that status. Assistant professor, if he is recognized as a PhD guide, can enroll 4 PhD students. Associate professor can enroll 6 PhD students, and full-time professor, he will get 8 PhD students. And on top of that, you should go for backward integration. Apply to Pune University for getting BBA regular, BBA IB, International Business, and BBA CA, BBA Computer Application, 60, 60, 60 intake. So that will act like a feeder institution to Midcon Institute of Management. So undergraduate education, Pune University degree, acts like a feeder institution to Midcon Institute of Management. And I have gone through your mandatory disclosure, and we say that 2016 you had 240 intake, 2007 240, 2008 240, 2009 240. Then you increased your intake 2010 360, 2011 360. Then 2012 you got it reduced 300, and from 2013 onwards up to 2022 your intake stands stagnated with 180 students. So which means you are operating at 50% of your capacity. So you have to make your admissions department very strong and admit 360 students. So 360 plus 360 when it will be fully operated, 720 students plus 180 BBA first year, 180 second year, 180 third year, 540. 540 plus 720. That will be 1260. So you will cross 1000 figure. That is my advice. And then apply for the research institution status to admit PhD students, and minimum 2 professors should have that recognition as a PhD guide. So that end to end, from undergraduate programs to postgraduate programs to PhD programs, there will be end to end synergy. And that is how you should operate. Now, as far as I have seen, your placement department, I have noted down certain figures about admissions and placement department. Placement say for past 3 years statistics shows that minimum salary offered is 3.50 lakhs and maximum 4.20 lakhs. So 2 years fees are 5.25 lakhs because 2 lakhs 62,500 each year. So that makes it 5.25. So by investing, Dr. Bavdekar was talking about return on investment. So for a student who is investing 5.25 lakhs within 2 years time, at least this package of 3.50 to 4.20 lakhs will be doubled or tripled. So which means that your placement department should focus on more placements, and you should, Dr. Bavdekar, you should independently start fundraising department also. Alumni say you are having, but fundraising department, for example, I got the statistics. Harvard fundraising has reached up to $53 billion. MIT $27 billion, IIT Bombay $500 million, and each Chinese universities, there are 30 top ranking Chinese universities, each one with $1 billion fundraising. And there are CSR activities and corporate philanthropic activities. Because Dr. Ajin Premji, he has donated 8,500 crores to Ajin Premji University. So you should have a fundraising department along with the alumni department, and that will create a big institution instead of a stagnated institution. And then admissions also 157 2019-20, 128 to 2021, and 123 2021. So average 136 for 3 years, 75% utilization. Okay, enrollment, 25% seats are lying vacant. But when Dr. Pradeep Bavdekar took charge, he told me that now current year the admissions are full. So that's a good sign. So go for 360 intake, and then 360 into 2, 720. Start undergraduate programs, and that will add another 540 students, and that will be 1260 students. So what I would like to say that in management decision making, we say that there is a classical model of decision making and then there is an administrative model of decision making. Classical model of decision making is theoretical model of decision making under ideal conditions. What should happen? But administrative model of decision making talks about what can happen in terms of bounded rationality and satisficing, that is prescribed by Herbert Simon, that the management can be rational up to a limit because the external surroundings are not 100% ideal as prescribed by the classical model. In administrative model, you can be logical or rational up to a certain limit, and then you have to choose a course of action that is good enough under the circumstances. So that is there. And then even if NEP-2020 talks about multidisciplinary educational and research universities Meru to be created by 2030, by one estimate or by one calculation, today India spends 3% of its GDP on education. Even if we spend 6% on education, and if you calculate the amount required within next 10 years or 20 years, 8 lakh crore of financial resources are required. 8 lakh crore, which is a Herculean task. So instead of thinking in too much of long term, think in terms of short term. Consolidate your position, get MBA accreditation, get AI equivalence. Balaji has done practically the same way, and then go for research institution, go for undergraduate colleges, let them act as feeder institution and consolidate your position, and go for 1260 at least as the student enrollment. 1260 undergraduate, postgraduate, and when you get the PhD recognition, PhD students will be also added, and that research recognition status will be there. So that is how you should act in that fashion, because 3000 is impossible. 3000 could be for a cluster. If there is a cluster of say engineering college, management institute, then 3000 and above is okay. For a single standalone management institution, 3000 is not possible. And I am told that not officially but unofficially, the Union Government Ministry of Education is thinking in terms of revising this figure. They may revise this figure, and we have to have the Lyra mindset. Each and every faculty member should have Lyra mindset. What is that Lyra mindset? L stands for learning, E stands for entrepreneurial management, I stands for innovative management, R stands for resilient mindset, and A stands for adaptive mindset. So meanwhile, CEOs of all these big companies, they read 60 books per year. So more than one book per week, 1.25. So that is the learning mindset. And research, faculty members should minimum publish 2 research papers per year in UGC care list or Scopus listed journals. Scopus is Elsevier's abstract being published from Netherlands. It is the largest database of peer-reviewed journals in the world. So 2 research papers per year faculty members should publish. Then there is a list of 200 world-class scientists. Every year Stanford University publishes top 2% scientists in the world. And there is a good sign that Indian scientists, scientists of Indian origin, not only working abroad but working in India, they are also getting listed in that top 2% scientist list being published by Stanford University. Then I would like to give one example of one PGDM institution at Bangalore. I don't know about the kind of evaluation your Vikas Institute of Management is doing, the assessment part of it. One lady student, she got 85% marks in PGDM, and there was a committee for placements, and one officer from that multinational corporation was there, and for coordination one professor was inducted from the institute side. And that panel asked very basic questions to that student. She had scored 85% marks. She could not answer those questions. So that officer from the MNC said that you have specialized in this subject and you are not able to answer basic questions. You have scored 85% marks. So that reflects on the institution also. And then suddenly that lady student cross-questioned that professor in front of that industry person who had asked you to give me 85% marks, and she started weeping. Who had asked you to give me 85% marks? And she started weeping. So evaluation has to be realistic. You can't give inflated marks. Jokingly it is now being said that in 10th standard and 12th standard, it's very difficult to fail. You have to make extra hard attempts to fail in the examination because our result is 100%. So these are inflated marks. They do not reflect the true caliber of the student. So evaluation department is also very important. Admissions department, placement department, then your accreditation department and evaluation department. So I think when you go for 360 intake, along with pharmaceutical management, agribusiness management, and regular PGDM, if you look at AICTE Handbook 2022-23, you will find 100 specializations. You can go for international business management or IT infrastructure management and so on. So when you add more divisions, you create your expertise. So management education itself is multidisciplinary. It's like a melting pot. So still NEP-2020 is talking about multidisciplinary education. So management education itself is multidisciplinary. But within that multidisciplinary nature of management education, you can add more specializations and strengthen within the given framework your position to offer different specializations when you go from 180 to 360 intake. For each division you can add different specialization as per the demand in the marketplace. And then there is a T-shaped professional. That T-shaped professional, this is the prescription given by McKinsey company, that this T-shaped professional we have to create is having depth in one area like T, grounded to reality, and breadth in many areas. Grounded to reality but accustomed with many areas. So depth plus breadth, that is T-shaped individual, that is McKinsey company description. And then there is three-box theory propagated by Professor Vijay Govindarajan of Tuck School of Business, Dartmouth College, USA. He talks about present, past and future. As far as Midcon Institute of Management is concerned, Dr. Pradeep Bhavdekar has taken the charge and you are able to manage the present, but still there is room for improvement as far as the enrollment is concerned, placement is concerned, accreditation is concerned, then research is concerned. You are able to manage the present, that is box 1. Box 2 is selectively forget the past. selectively forget the past. Whatever has happened in the past, you can't change it. So that is box 2. And box 3 is create your own future. So I would like to state that if you follow all these things, then one day I am sure, with the support from Bitcoin Foundation, and Dr. Pradeep Bowdekar is the founder director. So, if you have 10 acres of land in and around Pune, then on the lines of Symbiosis Skills and Professional University, in the near future, that is after 3 years consolidating your position, then in the medium term and long term, there could be Bitcoin University and Dr. Pradeep Bowdekar could be the chancellor of that university. सितारों के आगे जहां और भी है, there are horizons beyond horizons. Thank you.
Have you become a law?
No.
Is there clarity on how the measures or cluster formation?
No, there is no clarity in the sense that it is a prescriptive model, I have told. What we have to go for is administrative model. There has to be a clarity because they have left. Education is a concurrent subject on the central list and state list. So they have left it to the state government for implementation. According to my knowledge, 7 or 8 states, they have taken initiative. Rest of the states are left like that. Maharashtra government has not taken any initiative because of political instability. There was an article on the front page of Maharashtra Times, Mata Anchor, that affiliated colleges, they have to be reduced. But this year, Pune University has given affiliations. So it is exactly crisscross to the NEP-2020, which means the policy has not percolated down the line.
In our kind of institutions, first and foremost, we are regulated by AIC. Every inch and every action is regulated by AIC. So, a lot of provisions of NEP are not in tandem with the regulations of AIC. And state government has no wherewithal to influence AIC as well as PGDM in the sense. We are insulated from the technical education department of the state government. Second point is now for this kind of thing, what explanation do you want it from me? So, my point is, there is a lack of clarity.
Lack of clarity.
And you have rightly admitted that state of Maharashtra has not taken any initiative, even in India. There is no law. Because once that comes into this, second question I want to know is who will bear the cost? How to grade? Suppose if I have to join hands with any cluster, then there is no gradation. There is no gradation of the assets, liabilities, gradation of the academics. Without that, how do I join any cluster? Is there any rule what kind of cluster I join?
No.
Whether it can be a local cluster or it can be an all-India cluster.
See, policy framework has been laid down, but still there is ambiguity. This was discussed by the Association of Autonomous Business Schools, which is exclusively of PGDM institutions, as well as in the AIMS, Association of Indian Management Schools, that there is no clarity and they wanted to take appointment of the education minister at the center, but they could not get the appointment. That was told by AIMS authorities in one conference at Bangalore. So which means still it is in the pipeline. We are traveling like a train through tunnel. There appears to be light at the end of the tunnel, but still there is a dark phase which is going on because of lack of clarity.
Any questions?
Any questions? I would like to ask any questions from the audience.
Sir, my question is there. don't you think that this policy is from requirement to the reality, rather than from reality to requirement?
I do not get your question.
No, sir. Generally what happens, whenever in foreign countries, when they decide about the education policy, they first think about the reality. What is the situation? From situation then they go to policy. Even here what we have done, we are coming from policy to reality because it is not matching them. Reality is something different, policy is something different. And our academicians, they don't have courage to say anything.
No. I don't think you are right in that sense. Because when this draft policy document was circulated throughout India, at the nooks and corners of the country, right from mega cities, metro cities, district places, taluka places, more than 200,000 suggestions came to NEP-2020. It has been headed by Professor R. Kasturi Rangan, ex-chairman of ISRO and a well-known scientist, and academicians, industry experts, and so on. So it is not that they have not gone to the grassroots level. There could be certain flaws, but it is that they would do it through a course of correction as and when it progresses. But 200,000 suggestions were received, and as many as 70% coverage of the entire country they have made. So only the draft policy document was circulated first. Within 2 years they got number of suggestions, hundreds of suggestions, and they were discussed by the panel in their meetings, and then only they finalized the policy, and then only it has been launched.
But it doesn't see like that, no, sir.
No, but what I am saying is there is likely to be a difference between idealistic conditions as a prescriptive model and the administrative model of education. That is, there could be still more intricacies, ground realities, but course correction will happen. But the basic tenet of NEP-2020 is to make multidisciplinary universities and research universities, because if you look at the top ranking universities in the world, I have seen for myself, I have seen Stanford University, UC Berkeley, Harvard University, MIT, or Columbia, Cornell, Oxford, Cambridge. They are all multidisciplinary universities, and very recently we have started cutting these branches. So, what is the concept of a university? It is like a banyan tree. A banyan tree grows into full blossom. There is a growth, and then aerial roots, they come down, they touch the ground, they get transformed, and then they take shape of a trunk. And then there is a resilience, there is a longevity, and there is a growth of a banyan tree. So, if you find that, what is the role of a university? To create new knowledge. How the new knowledge is created at the intersection of two faculties, as far as teaching is concerned, learning is concerned, research is concerned. So, which are the interdisciplinary branches? Biotechnology, bioinformatics, biophysics, biochemistry, biomedical engineering. They have evolved. They were not there some 15-20 years back. They have evolved. So new knowledge is getting created. Any other question?
Digital degrees equivalent to the classroom degrees. Digital degrees, recently as per UGC, degrees which are given online, are reference to the degrees which are given from the classrooms. Now to create infrastructure for classroom itself, they can order with huge loss.
Yes.
Then number of students, the kind of quality of education is a challenge.
See, Indian
Because
education.
government regulates entry of the student, number of the students, fees of the students,
Correct.
appointment of faculties, payment to the faculty. Everything is restricted. What is that?
Yeah.
Education after.
Lakshmi was liberated in the year 1991. Saraswati should be liberated at least in the year 2022. Am I right? But that is, after all, government India has to think, and we can put the pressure on the government for making these changes. There has to be complete freedom, should not be license and permit branch.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any of the faculty members?